Welcome to NBNR, the authority on unfiltered opinions and authentic player insight for Nebraska athletics. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, and at nbnrpodcast.com.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
You know, we just really love Utter. He's a junkyard dog.
Kenny Bell ran up to me. He's like, you know what you just did?
You get mad when you go get in the portal and go to another podcast?
You know, usually dumbbells are in pairs. They had 5 dumbbells.
Dang on it, Muhammad!
GBR.
Big red indeed. No block, no rock. Season 4, episode 20, 420.
Isn't that funny?
It's pretty good.
Ever heard that one before? All right, fellas. Hey, first of all, Happy New Year to you.
Hey,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
First episode of 2024. Coming at you live from the Nebraska Brewing Company tap room, like most always, here at 108th and Harrison in La Vista, Nebraska, 68128. Fellas, let's go around, talk about what we are drinking. You know, people say new year, new me.
Was it a new you? Was it?
Not with this pickle beer.
No.
I'm sticking with my old self. I ain't changing. Pickle Fight, come get it on tap. They have a spicy version,
Yeah.
and it is spiky too.
Yeah.
It is.
Canned.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think we still have a little of the regular can too.
Nice.
It's very little,
But it's
left.
only in the tap room?
Currently, yeah.
Okay.
The spicy you can find in stores. The regular was a taproom only release, but it is almost gone. So if you want it, come get it.
Come to the tap room, get it on tap or in a can. It's wonderful. Mike, what you got?
I am going to embrace the new year, new me thing. And I'm going to go back to my roots. You know, let's have a little pod seltzer. You know, I haven't had one in a while. And like I said, I don't want to be a Jared or a Connor in 2024. So I rotate. They do have seltzers here at the brewery. They're fantastic, award-winning. So, yeah, if you go to the brewery and you're like, oh, I don't like beer, like my wife, guess what? They got something for you here. They also have mixed drinks and everything else.
I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. Did we not start 2023 the same way where Mike was drinking seltzers? Like, I'm going low cal because they are like each seltzer is less than 100 calories.
We love
Sick.
that.
But I remember starting
Yeah.
23 the same way.
Because I'm pretty sure, because what Mike likes to do is he likes to travel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He goes places where like he's taking his shirt off. He's
Oh,
in
yeah.
the pool.
Mike's
he's-
showing off that body.
He's getting
Look at
like
this man.
he's getting
Look at
like
this.
the tree. He's going to Mexico. He's going to all
Yeah.
kinds of places.
All I got to say is 2024, your boy turns 30. So
Oh, gross.
we're going to go celebrate
Fucking old.
in Mexico.
Oh yeah,
And, I just want to go start my 30s the right way.
that's fair.
In a not fat way.
Yeah.
Did you start your 20s the right way?
Dude, I live up my 20s. I don't know about you guys, but like I always say, I'm like, there is not a single regret in my 20s. Like I did everything I wanted to do.
Mm,
I
damn.
I have no regrets. I don't know who it was. I think it was a rapper that got asked like, did you regret? So I think it was actually it was Snoop Dogg got asked like, when you were
Yeah, all
younger,
those songs that you made about women and
all
fuck
that
them
stuff.
hoes.
Like, did
We
you-
don't let them hoes.
Do you regret any of that? He's like, nah, I meant all that shit. Everything I did in my 20s, I meant all that shit.
Yeah,
Um,
if we had to
for
go
better
through
or
all
for
my
worse.
regrets,
Yeah.
I don't think this would be a very long episode. Connor Kavalak.
You already know what I'm drinking. It is a new year, new me, but not because of the beer.
Mm.
It is still the Nebraska Pilsner. It is still the greatest beer on the face of this planet. We're drinking Pilsner.
Okay.
You already know. You already know.
Classic Connor, baby.
Classic Connor.
All right. So come to the tap room, 108th and Harrison, La Vista, Nebraska. Connor, help me out. World class
In every glass.
Okay. So dramatic.
I
Well,
know.
and I put that when I listen to our episodes, I listen to it at like 1.5 speed. And when he goes that slow, it's still slow.
I know.
Gosh.
I try and mix up the tempo on it every time.
If we took just that snippet out, our episodes would be probably like a half hour long. 7 hour. Okay. So guys, on New Year's Eve, I had made a video with my 5 New Year's resolutions for Husker football,
Yes.
or just like kind of Husker fandom in general. So I'll tell you what the 5 were, and you just tell me what your initial thoughts are. Okay.
Sure.
So the first one was, I want to learn to love the Killigan's version of Come a Running Boys.
Can I
gotta learn to love it.
do we wait for all 5 and then we give our opinions?
Give it now.
I hate that resolution.
That one sucks.
I hate that, and I hate you.
That
You should feel
song
bad.
sucks.
Okay, now,
But
you
I
should
do
feel
agree
bad.
with you that look at yourself in the mirror and say that you can't like that song.
Yeah.
You have to like that song. For those of you listening,
Yeah.
it's that Scarlet and the Cream song that they play in Memorial Stadium.
Scarlet and the Cream.
Can we in post? Can we add a little like part of that song in there?
Yeah,
Right
I mean,
there.
normally I would just
Sure.
do it now, but
yeah, we don't have a button
because
for
our
it.
our fourth host here is got better things to do
Oh,
tonight.
I
Sure he
think
does.
that's something that we should address. Kyle Bias
Yes.
obviously not here with us tonight. If he was here, I feel like he would probably be drinking an EOS Hefeweizen, and Kyle would be siding with me and Mike that first resolution was ass, and you should feel bad about it.
Yes, he is in the chat. He did say, "I take one episode off," and you guys decide to cut a table and start touching knees.
Hey, I'll
Well-
tell you, Mike has been using lotion because his legs are soft.
They really are. They've always been soft.
I know.
Trust me, I live with this guy, and they're as soft as they've ever been. So my second one was try to be less pessimistic, because when you look at the trajectory of the program, right? You got Matt Rule, you've got the number 1 quarterback coming in, Tony White staying for at least another year. So, like when I'm watching a game, try not to be so damn end of the world negative. I'm trying to not be that anymore.
It's funny because my number 1 resolution as a Husker fan for this year is exactly the opposite, was to be more pessimistic.
You need that, though.
Yeah.
Jared could tone down a
He
bit.
can tone it down. I need to tone mine up a little bit. I need the way I had phrased it was be more realistic.
Yeah,
I
okay.
will tell you, I will fail that like come spring.
Yeah,
Like I'm going to lose that resolution, but I'm going to try.
So-
I'm going to try.
Like what I think of is this last Iowa game when
that's what came to my mind.
when Chuba throws the interception,
And you throw a fit.
and so he throws the pick, and the Iowa guy is not even tackled yet, and I'm already walking down, and I yell up at Mike. I go, "If you want to stay for this horse shit, have at it, Hoss. I'm done. Like I already know what's going to happen. I'm done. I gotta not be that anymore."
I considered calling the police for a welfare check on you. Like I was worried.
A wellness check.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Welfare check, wellness check.
I
It's not
mean-
the fucking same.
No, it's the same thing. Yeah, it is.
No,
Yeah,
it's literally the same thing.
You can do a welfare check too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the
I mean,
same
I
thing.
felt like a welfare check would be like
No,
like
not
a-
that
like
one.
what?
Not that
like
one.
a welfare check.
Did you go to Walmart and spend money on?
No.
Yeah, get
Anyway,
your
Yeah,
EBT, boy.
it's the same damn thing.
so what were you gonna say? You were itching to like say something, but
it was about your
that-
temper tantrum you threw after the Iowa game, and I was like, you know what, that would be good for you, Jared, because doing this podcast, we need to be pessimistic. We have to be, because we are the anti-Kool-Aid type podcast. We let people drink the Kool-Aid because we can bring them back down to earth, and we still need that from you.
It's in our bio that we are the
Yeah.
chaser.
But you were literally like so broken down at the end of that Iowa game that I was like, you know what? That is a good resolution, because knowing you, and I've known you a very long time, you won't take it to the extreme. You still are like you're not dumb,
I'm still here, guys.
Yes. but you could use a little bit. I understand it was a rough end of the year.
I've always
Yeah.
said that the negativity that I have is backed up by evidence. Like when I threw that fit after Chuba threw the interception, I said, "You want to stay and watch this horse shit? I know how this ends." Lo and behold, how did it end? With Iowa's last points of the year that they scored, because they haven't scored in the past 2 games. We'll talk about that too. They still won. They still won that game though.
Barely.
The third one I had was, cut down on the Panthers trolling.
No.
No,
No.
just keep it.
I
keep
just
it
understand
piling it on.
How do Panther fans continue to blame Matt Rule?
I don't even think they do anymore.
They've got-
No, they still do.
Do they?
Yes.
How?
No, because they're fucking stupid.
How?
They're Panthers fans. Don't get excited.
Yes.
Can we talk about their owner throwing a drink?
Yeah, did you see
Wonderful.
that?
Yeah, wonderful.
Of a Jags fan?
He's a king, man. King Tepper.
Yeah. That's
King Tepper. That was his
it's-
nickname in high school, wasn't it?
yeah. People say that. No, crazy. Matt Rule was never the issue in Carolina.
I'm glad he got out of there.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, that is a dumpster fire.
What's crazy is like I have no issue with the Carolina Panthers. I have issue with Panthers fans that have an issue with Nebraska for no goddamn reason.
Or just like when Nebraska didn't make a bowl, it was Panthers fans kind of coming back and saying, "See, told you."
Oh yeah, his first season he didn't win the Big Ten.
Yeah, because
good point. Good one.
Yeah, because Matt Rule came in and the situation was so ideal for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So ideal.
We do have a couple comments in the chat.
What are they saying?
A friend of the program who actually give a shout out to Coach's BA Barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is a loyal listener to the pod, and he did deliver me some homemade barbecue sauce that he's going to be using for competition.
Ooh.
He brought it to me this weekend.
And we're not sharing? What is this?
Well, fuck all y'all. But I have it. I want to make something with, and I'm going to use it. So I haven't decided.
And you're bringing that for a pod.
I could. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I definitely can. We could smoke some meat in here and do a live show or something.
Yeah, easy money.
Yeah. So we'll do something with it. I didn't want to like just waste it. I did try it on my finger.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. So
awesome. What kind?
It didn't have a name. It was just literally a plain bottle. So
Coach just brought it to you.
Yeah, I know. A while back I made him a logo because he sent me his logo, and I was like, he's like, I want to incorporate the black shirts and all that. And I was like,
sure.
Hey, let me see if I can just dial something up and see if you like it. So I gave it to him. I was like, hey, just use it if you like it. If you don't, whatever. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. So yeah, I think he's using it for some stuff. But yeah, shout out Coach.
So he says thank you for doing that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But then he asks, do you guys really not like the Killigan song? We love that song at my house. We play it at home, even if we aren't at the game.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I'm just going to refer to you as Coach.
Yeah. We're just going to roll with Coach.
Yeah, Coach.
Coach Ben.
You're a great guy. You have been a very loyal listener and commenter and interacting with our posts. But that is the worst take I've ever heard.
Well, you know,
that song sucks.
So he plays it at home. Maybe that's what we need to do, guys. Is just like play it more and
embrace
then
it, right?
Like I said, it's not going anywhere. They're going to keep playing the damn thing.
I'm pretty positive they play that thing at Guantanamo. Like that is a form of torture.
Well, okay, but I will say this. As Husker fans, we've had to embrace the suck for a while. So maybe we just embrace the suck by embracing a sucky song.
Coach Ben does not agree with that. He loves that song. He plays it at home. He plays it in the comfort of his own home.
It's incredible.
He goes to Spotify and he types in KILLIGANS.
You're good at
You realize that nobody probably knows the actual name of that song?
No.
Come on and boys.
Is it Scarlet and Cream? I don't know what that
is. It's the actual title is something.
I think it's Nebraska and the Scarlet is the actual title, isn't it?
I just know that the in parentheses it's "Come a Runnin' Boys," and this was a song back in the 20s.
Yeah,
that they've remade.
But they remade it with Nebraska stuff.
So here's my thing: every game day,
no,
it's always been a Nebraska-based song.
Oh,
like,
okay.
For like some dude with the university wrote it way back in the day.
Okay,
about the football team.
Every game day, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I have a tradition that like when I get ready on a game day morning, one of the first songs I play is still "Let Me Clear My Throat."
That's a fantastic song.
Get me back to that. That gets the people going.
And Matt Rule loves it.
Yeah.
So they're going to incorporate it more, I would imagine.
Sure.
I think it starts with winning. Like, so you don't get to hear the fun stuff if you're losing. You hear this crap that we are going to embrace in 2024, right?
Yeah, we have to embrace it.
We have to embrace the suck.
Like, if you want to get the crowd going, you want to get that memorial rocking, is it going to be the song that we don't know the title of? Or "Let Me Clear My Throat"?
I'll say like
even if you don't know any words except "Let Me Clear My Throat," that chorus and the saxophone. Yeah. Like that's going to get people moving.
I don't know. When the Killigan song plays, guys, like I'm kind of just like looking around like who is enjoying this? And surprisingly,
a lot of
people get into it.
They do. But you know who doesn't get into it?
Down there in row 15 going, woo.
Well, I will tell you who probably doesn't enjoy it and is going to be the players on the sideline and the recruits that are coming in. And they're like, man, these Nebraska guys, they look like a bunch of hicks. So
yeah, it's the fucking 50s around here.
We're not trying to recruit a bunch of Irish
Hey,
Gaelic footballers.
for better
Like,
or
that's
for
not-
worse. And we mentioned this, I think, on the last episode. This year, Deion Sanders in Colorado had Lil Wayne on the sideline, had The Rock on the
They
sideline.
had the Wu-Tang Clan.
They had Wu-Tang. These recruits coming in, like that's a hype atmosphere. Whether the team is good or not, that atmosphere is going to be a big factor in recruiting.
Yeah.
If we continue to act like it's the 50s, we're not going to get recruits that want this more, hype, progressive atmosphere.
You're
It's just
telling
not gonna
me
happen.
that you're a recruit coming in and you don't like it when Dan Whitney goes, Gary Doug.
Yeah, no.
That's not convincing
That
to you?
ain't that's not a selling point. For me. Like,
They tickered you.
No.
if I'm a five,
No.
like let's not even say I'm a 5-star athlete. Let's say I'm a 3 or a 4-star, and I go in.
You're a half a star.
No, well, this is hypothetical, but I do appreciate giving me the half
He's
star.
a
That's very
Louisville,
nice of
Nebraska
you.
4-star.
Yeah, Louisville. We pronounce our S. We're not Hicks.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
But let's say I'm a 3 or 4-star, and I come in and I'm seeing a team that's winning at best 5 games a season, which has been the last 7 years, maybe 8. And then I see an atmosphere that is kind of muted, not really like getting the crowd into it. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna look at other programs. Like if you are a 5 to 6 win team, but your crowd, like we know Nebraska fans are insane. Just in general, we're all insane to keep coming back and doing this every year.
Dude, the odds are so stacked against us. Our favorite team hasn't been to a bowl in 7 years.
Yeah.
And they play the damn Killigans.
Yeah. Like
And we still show up.
being a Nebraska fan should be classified as a mental illness. But we're all still here.
It's Guantanamo.
Yes. Yeah.
Being a Nebraska fan is like being at Guantanamo Bay circa 2003.
Yes, exactly.
Do you guys know what happened there?
I think it is
Are you guys aware of
I
the
think-
torture?
I think it is directly comparable.
No.
I don't mean that.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, I don't mean that.
Matt Rule's
but-
here to fix that.
Being a Nebraska fan is it's a war crime against.
Yeah, us. But my thing is, like, even if you're winning 5, 6 on a great year, we win 7. Just imagine.
Oh God,
Just
he's gonna hit it.
imagine.
Oh God,
Normally, I prefer that. Not that one.
well that one.
Did you intentionally hit that one?
Well,
I
that
just
one.
pushed a random button.
Okay.
Kyle does this. I don't know what the buttons
Kyle, we miss you.
do. We do miss Kyle.
But
I did like
appreciated
the
that
drop.
drop, yeah.
That drop was great.
Let's imagine a 7-win year. You're a 3 or 4-star, and you're like seeing a program that is, middling, but the atmosphere is hype. You're much more likely to make that a legitimate consideration than a middling team that the atmosphere is like.
Well, I mean, that's
essentially
okay,
what we've been
okay.
doing.
Hey,
now.
Michigan 21.
Okay, but the
You know,
atmosphere in Lincoln, Nebraska is fantastic.
I'm not saying
we
it's not, but like
I think right now
there's room for growth.
there's always room for growth, but we are a top program when it comes to atmosphere. When you're coming as an opposing fan or someone who's coming to the game for the first time, it is a great atmosphere. It's loud, it's electric, but it could take a step forward.
Yeah.
There are things that are, and they're always doing good things. Like I like the new Spotify thing with the Herbie logo, and he's going and picking songs. But then the songs they pick are like
Dolly Parton.
and stuff. Like who's going to get hyped for that? So
Yeah.
they're doing a good
Hound
job.
Dog, Elvis Presley.
Look, you can appreciate Dolly Parton's musicianship,
again,
but I don't need to hear it at a football game.
Dolly Parton 9 to 5. You play that in it comes on my shuffle in my car. I'm screaming it as
Yeah.
I'm driving down I-80.
Sure.
I'm screaming that thing.
Yeah, and then like
Great.
the 18-year-old kid that's here doesn't even know who Dolly Parton is.
Yeah.
So
but
you gotta
I-
gotta walk that
if
line.
I am at a D1 Power 5 football game. Give me dreams and nightmares, Meek Mill. Give me anything, Meek Mill. And like that's gonna get me going. Like that's what we need. Like it's an atmosphere that needs
Well, they
a little
gotta-
bit more
they-
intensity.
they
It's
gotta
an
s-
intense thing.
Yeah, they got to strike a balance because
the
you
Blue
have
Hairs.
you have the 17, 18-year-old kids that are coming in here that you're trying to lure in, but then you also have the really old people in the stands that are saying, "What the hell is that noise going on
That
up there?
rah-rah noise.
Yeah.
What's all that banging?"
Well, I will say though, Jared, you went to the basketball game with me last week, whatever. And at basketball games, it's the complete opposite. Like they are playing music that makes the fans feel uncomfortable, and I am all for it.
Going.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. Coach asked us. He said, "When we go bowling next year,
Oh.
are you guys going to be there?" And to that, I would say yes.
Yeah,
we
the
will be
short
doing.
answer
We
is
will,
yes.
no matter what city it's in, we will be doing a live show somewhere if Nebraska makes a bowl game. But that does bring me to a topic that I wanted to ask you guys about.
We also, I want to be clear, we're missing 2 more resolutions over here.
Yeah, we'll get,
Well, yeah,
we'll get
yeah,
back to the resolutions, but the bowl game thing, it brings me to a topic, and I put a poll out there on Twitter. Do bowl games matter anymore?
Okay, so I saw this poll.
Yeah.
And again, short answer, yes. Long answer is yes, but. Bowl games used to be very, like, these big accolades. Like, you went to this bowl and you won.
Mm-hmm.
It's less than that now, like, because everybody and their mother makes a bowl game except Nebraska. So has the value diminished? Sure. But it is still one of those things, especially for where Nebraska is at as a program this year and next year as a young team. That's an accolade to make it there, and especially if you get a win. So they do matter, but the value has diminished over the last 8 to 10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, my response to you, Mike, is like, does the actual game matter? Nah. I mean, it's nice to, if you can, add another win to the resume, and that's nice. But Nebraska has missed out on 7 years worth of bowl practices. And each year that you miss out, that's a month that you're missing. So they've missed about almost 8 months of actual football practice. And I think that's really added up. And like you watch some of these games, some of them are like really intense. Like the Arizona versus Oklahoma game. I don't know if you guys watched that game. Intense game, like back and forth.
But that's a good example of a game, though. It wasn't no Oklahoma didn't have their starting quarterback because it's cool now to opt out.
Yeah,
that's the cool thing to do now.
And
everybody hops out, they hop in the portal, all that stuff.
I will always, and I've gotten to a lot of arguments about this recently. I am fine with players opting out. I am always pro player. I like, as a Nebraska fan, obviously I care an incredible amount about the University of Nebraska, but I care more about the players. Do what is right for you. I will never ask you to do something that is not in your best interest.
I mean, you're asking.
We go back to, what was it, 2018? Jake Butt takes out the insurance policy, gets injured, and ends up getting a very good payout because it destroyed his draft stock. Like, going into bowl games for key players, if that bowl game, like, especially now, if you're not in the this year 14 playoff, next year 12, if you're not in that playoff and you're like, if I play this game and get injured, I potentially destroy my future. Opt out.
Okay, but that's a different scenario. So, like, there's the opt-out future thing.
Sure.
Then there's the opt-out, I have to get in the portal because of this window. So, like, right now, college football is set up for failure when it comes to bowl games. Because right now, as a player, I need to get my next home before I can finish the job with my team.
So do you just move the portal window?
I think that is part of it. I think that will make college football better as a whole. But going back to, do bowl games matter anymore? I think a program like Nebraska, obviously a bowl game would be amazing for a program like Nebraska. But the sales pitch and how much a bowl game is worth now is at an all-time low. It is not worth anything anymore.
I don't disagree.
Unless you're a program like Nebraska who hasn't made a bowl game, or you're a team that historically has been bad in general. Players opting out for the portal and everything else has ruined bowl games. They don't mean anything. Ohio State played Missouri. Okay?
Just brutal.
Missing McCord, Fleming, and Harrison Jr.
Correct.
Yeah.
And people have the right to say, well, Ohio State sucks or Ryan Day sucks because they couldn't beat Missouri.
Ryan Day.
Yeah. So, without a top, what do you want to say? Top 20 quarterback in college football.
Yeah.
One of the best players, if not the best player in college football. And then another long starter for Ohio State.
So I wrote a 4.5-page dissertation on why Ohio State got beat by Mizzou. It wasn't due to the players. Their scheming was terrible. The play calling was atrocious.
Now,
it was not the talent.
So here's the thing, right?
It's not a talent issue, but
yeah, their scheming was awful.
Here's where the positive can come in with that. Okay. Yeah. So Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
chooses not to play, he's going to be a top
Yeah, and
3
he's
pick.
a perfect scenario of yes, absolutely.
And here's the thing. If like let's say Nebraska had a player like that, right? And they're playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which the Big Ten can't do anyway.
Yes.
But I just want to think of that because I like Pop-Tarts. We all do. No, but let's say Nebraska had a Marvin Harrison guy. On one hand, I'm like, sure, it'd be great if you played. Of course, we want to win. Whatever.
He's going to be picked second overall.
On the other hand, sure, sit out. I don't want you to get hurt. I want you to get drafted. So, in the long run, you get drafted. You play in the NFL. You make us look better, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And if he opts out, what happens? That opens up an opportunity for playing time for a young guy.
Yes.
So, like, even though Ohio State, they lost 14-3, and that game was ugly. And Lincoln Kineholtz went like 8 for 17 for 80-something yards.
It was gross.
It was not pretty. Now, could that have been a valuable learning experience for Lincoln Kineholtz? Could that have been a baby step towards, okay, yeah, I sucked, but that was valuable for me. So I could get that playing time. And so even though they lost 14-3, I think you also need to be a reasonable fan, Ohio State fans, and recognize that they were playing inexperienced guys.
But he wasn't even the starter, for that game. He was the third string guy.
Yeah. Well, so was it Malik Willis at Tennessee that sat out?
No.
Who was at Tennessee?
Hooker.
Hooker.
Yes.
Yeah, Hooker
Hendon
sits
Hooker.
out, and then you put in, again, one of the funniest names, I Am Oliva, at QB. Kid's a true freshman.
I'm a believer.
His first start is in a bowl game against Iowa, an incredible defense, and that kid comes out and they win 35 rip. Those are incredible, confidence booster for that young QB.
Oh, absolutely.
It gets him valuable experience because I don't know who sat out for Iowa, if anybody, but still a very, very high ranked defense. That is important, play time to have for a young guy like that. So yes, Mike, I agree with you that if it is not a key game and you're not going to get one of these high draft picks, the sitting out is kind of a bitch move.
That Ohio State game was kind of a key game, though.
Yeah,
in my opinion, not enough to play.
Hold on, I also agree with Jared about the importance of if these guys sit out, I can get these young guys experience in a very high pressure atmosphere. Because for young guys, it doesn't matter if you're in the Charmin Ultra Soft Bowl, it's still a high pressure environment. Your first game or one of your first games is a bowl. You're going to find out what men are made of right there.
Well, you can't really say that, and then it's everyone else is opting in. That's not a totally high stakes. Well, look,
if they
Georgia
transferred or sitting out for the draft, I find it to be bowl games are more beneficial for the young players.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. And then of course, Georgia, Florida State, Jesus Christ.
That's a perfect example though.
63-3.
And don't get me wrong, Georgia had the same amount of players out, but I think it was significant players were a lot different.
Dude, Florida State was they had 30 dudes not play or something. It's insane.
I've said
terrible.
What I've said a million times is everyone wanted to get super pissy about Florida State being left out of the playoff because they were undefeated. They're a Power 5 champ. The more egregious thing was that Georgia was not let in. It was more egregious that Georgia wasn't in there than Florida State not being in there. Again, you go to the argument of best team versus most deserving. Florida State was a deserving team. Georgia is one of the best. If you want to complain about a team not being in the playoff, we should not be talking about Florida State. We should be talking about Georgia. Am I crazy on that?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think you're crazy, but I do disagree. I just if you're an undefeated conference champ,
you always need to be in the playoff.
That
they didn't lose.
But so
they didn't lose.
How do you reconcile Georgia, Alabama? Because Georgia beat Bama early in the season.
No, they didn't. They played for the first time in the SEC
oh,
championship.
Why did I think they had played earlier?
No,
in the season?
Alabama lost to Texas, and both Texas and Alabama got in with one loss over an undefeated Florida State team.
Right.
And my biggest knock on that whole thing was, Alabama, it was a different team at this point of the year. It's a different team. You almost lost to Auburn the week prior.
Yeah.
It's a different team. You should have lost to South Florida. It's a different team. You barely beat Arkansas. That team is not a different team.
It's a different team. Michigan lost their top tackle 1 week before or 2 weeks before the playoffs.
Yeah.
We want to talk about you lost a key player.
It was a bad thing. It was a bad look. It was all about money. The TV deals. ESPN owned all those bowl games.
Yeah.
And all the CFP stuff, they needed an SEC team there. That's what it was.
While we're on the topic of the playoffs, can we just get a quick horns down?
Well, of course.
Horns down.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you ain't got to ask me twice.
Yes.
Michael Penix Jr. doing what he does best.
Dude, he's good.
He's very good.
Jesus Christ.
I honestly haven't seen a quarterback that accurate in a long time.
He just he's he's so quarterbacky.
So
And I'm saying that because
yeah.
somebody said Lamar Jackson wasn't quarterbacky. But no, I mean,
he ain't bad for running back.
But no, I'm like Penix, dude. I mean, the way he's slinging the ball around,
So
effortless.
I actually, after watching last night's game, I am very angry with myself. Because when Heisman voting came around, I was like, oh, it's Jaden Daniels. He's not even close. And then after the game, I did my side-by-side comparison, and it should not have been close. Michael Penix Jr. was the greatest player in the country.
Yeah, but
It was not close.
SEC.
He walked in. So that was, I think it was Connor Happer, friend of the show, good guy, tweeted. Somebody had asked him, like, why was Penix, like, how did he not win this? And he said, because people in the Southeast only watch SEC football.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like, look
it's
at the
tough
vote
to
map.
watch Washington football.
about number.
It's literally impossible to watch Washington football unless you don't have a bedtime.
Michael Penix.
It's true.
Michael Penix walked into Jaden Daniels' home state and did things that he could never have done.
Played
Penix-
very well.
Yeah, Penix
balled
was
out.
the best player in college football this year. Should have won the Heisman.
To put a bow on the whole bowl game thing, I just wanted to say, I hope that college football makes changes to improve the bowl game experience, because now they're going to have an extended playoff with 12 teams. It's really going to make bowl games irrelevant and less meaningful. So you really need to do something, whether it's move the portal window, NIL collectives.
I would be fine with moving the portal window back.
Yeah,
So
they
that,
need
like,
to.
you can enter the portal after the bowl. Do that. I'm fine with that. I don't see a huge issue.
Well, and coaches that are in bowl games shouldn't have to be recruiting their team while preparing for a bowl game. I get that too.
yeah.
But if I was an NIL collective, I think another thing too is if you want to see those players play, incentivize it to make them play. Because if you're going to be getting this money and you're not finishing the job, that kind of sucks too. Especially if you're a collective that's giving a guy a lot of money and then he's like, oh, see, I go in the portal. You got to fix that. So whether it's the collective saying, hey, you don't get a dime of this unless you play in the bowl game.
The season is over.
Until your season is over. Or maybe it's, hey, we'll use a really bad example, but let's say you get $100,000 for the whole season.
Sure.
You get 80,000 of it to play in the season. You get another 20,000 if you play in the bowl game.
Sure.
Something like that.
And the thing too is usually the guys that will opt out, like Marvin Harrison, those are the guys that are getting paid the
They're gonna
most.
get them big money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're an NIL guy, you're like, damn, I really need.
Incentivize.
I would love it if you played more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Incentivize.
Yes.
my
Well,
ROI.
So let's get crazy. We go back to, again, I think it was 2018, Jake Budd, with that insurance policy. Let's say you've got a player like Marvin Harrison Jr., and you do have this big incentive at the end of the season. Like, we're making a bowl game. We want you to play in it.
Yeah.
Have that NIL collective pay for the insurance policy. Like,
I don't see that being an issue.
We're incentivizing you to play in this game. You're going to get a lot of money. And if you get hurt, we've got you covered. I mean, that's another small incentive you add to get these guys to continue to play.
Yeah. I mean, or just give them a fat check and say, don't get hurt. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I don't know any athlete that has intentionally got hurt. So
yeah, I get it. But it's one of those things. It's like players that are this gifted, they're playing the sport at a level they don't think about getting hurt at all. Like they're just playing. It's just another game. Just go play. And obviously, I'm not a college athlete, so I can't speak on that. But yeah, I know. but yeah, I just like I said, put a bow on it. But it's just something I just think it's silly that people still grab onto bowl games like they matter. Like, oh, the SEC versus the Big Ten. Look at the head-to-head record.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah. They're so hard to judge because
Yeah, it's like, well,
you don't have your regular
this team
players
didn't
playing.
fucking
Yeah.
play. Yeah, it's just that doesn't mean anything anymore.
And the other thing
Yeah.
too, maybe this will put a bow on it. I don't know. This is you talk about bowl games. If we didn't have bowl games, guys, we would not have been able to see 35-0 Iowa lost to Tennessee.
So
I liked that.
can I?
So if I could get more of that, 35 zip, Iowa getting shut out for the second game in a row to a team that has a pulse, I'm all here for it.
Before we get to your fourth resolution,
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
I want to interject with I think my only aside from be more pessimistic, my main resolution as a Husker fan for 24, and it is hate Iowa more.
Yep.
So my fourth resolution was more Iowa trolling.
There we go. See,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
timing.
I once he said that, I was like, he obviously didn't watch the Jared video because that is the fourth one.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I did not watch the Jared video.
Yeah. So my point was, look, Iowa has bragging rights for the next year, rightfully so. That's just how it works.
Fuck them.
They
but
won.
They did win.
Fuck them, but they
Yep.
still have bragging rights. They can do the whole, put the score in my face if I ever talk shit, and I
Sure.
can't say anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just got to keep going. Like, we can't just not troll Iowa.
No.
Like, even if I'm in the wrong, I'm still going to do it.
I
'Cause
hope
fuck 'em.
that we beat them in basketball so we can just troll in that sport
Sure.
instead.
They swept them last year in basketball,
Yeah.
right?
Remember that time we swept Iowa?
In basketball.
In basketball.
In basketball.
I believe last year was every sport, or did they get one on us in baseball?
Well,
They-
baseball's weird because you have
and,
series.
and wrestling, they got us. And
Yeah.
what everybody doesn't
Yeah.
Wrestling, yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
I don't think like it's gonna
Nobody's
be a long
going to
time.
troll the
Yeah.
Iowa wrestling team.
No.
So
I mean, for one, you can't because they're really good.
Yeah.
For two,
nobody cares.
sorry, I know
I-
we probably have wrestling fans that are like, why don't you guys talk about Nebraska wrestling? They're like ranked second.
I actually am a wrestling fan, so
That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do your
I
do
do
some
care.
TikTok videos about
Yeah.
Nebraska wrestling, but nobody cares.
Nobody. Yeah.
Did the mic pick up on that?
I cares. I cares.
My fifth one was crap. Damn it, Mike. What was it? Oh yeah, buy tickets to New York City.
Okay. Any particular like
Pinstripe
ball?
ball!
Yeah, I figured that's what it was.
Rutgers beats Miami in Yankee Stadium. We can't do that. Why not us?
It's one of those things that I'm super conflicted about. That Rutgers got a bowl win and we didn't make one.
Jesus.
But does it not feel a little good that Rutgers beat Miami? Like it feels a little good.
I'm
Like,
I mean, I'm all for it. Like,
yeah,
I'm not a conference cheerer though. That's the thing is like during that bowl season and stuff, like people are like, oh, let's root for our conference. Fuck that.
Let's root for Iowa. What?
Hell no.
What are you, stupid?
I want everyone to lose. If I can't win, everyone else should lose.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So I don't care.
So like watching Missouri beat Ohio State 14-3. It's like, yeah, I kind of had mixed feelings because I'm like,
That's one of our top teams.
I see Missouri do this, and I'm like, why not Nebraska, first of all? And the other thing is, Ohio State, despite all the absences,
Yes,
the
sure.
opt-outs,
Yeah.
they should 14-3. You only got 3 points.
that was
Like
wild.
you made the Big Ten look bad. You know that's
Yeah.
going to be the narrative. Oh, Ohio State's supposed to be your granddaddy.
That's the second best team in the Big Ten.
Right.
That's what was told to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second best team in the Big Ten. They lost to Missouri. Even though Missouri was really good this year, but
Yeah, they were.
like they were fun to watch.
Yeah.
So
Well, speaking of a team that made the Big Ten look good, Michigan pulling
Yes.
out a victory
Mhm.
over Alabama in overtime. That muffed punt, 1 yard away from
a safety.
total disaster.
Yes.
yep.
Isn't it amazing? Football's a game of inches. You know this, but holy crap, that game could have been so much different. But
Wouldn't that have been awesome?
Can we talk about
And
just
it-
punt returns in the semifinals in general?
They were bad.
yeah,
awful.
Did you see that?
Special
Which
teams.
team was it that?
Michigan
what-
had a bot snap on a field goal or on an extra point attempt.
Yeah.
Did you see that? I think it was Alabama that put a returner back there with a broken arm. He had like a cast on one hand and he had to pick the ball up with the other hand. Like what are we doing?
Well, and
Nobody cares about special teams anymore.
I guess not. And what I want to point out, Michigan should not have won that game. That last play, the only reason Alabama does not score is a low snap to Milrow. They have that swing pass to the left side, and that man is in.
But
He
that
was
wasn't- that
running.
wasn't-
It was a quarterback draw.
Yeah,
no,
dude, he was-
no, that was a design swing. It's a low snap, and Milroe can't get the pass off and tries to just take it himself. If they get that snap on target, Alabama wins that game.
I was mistaken.
Watch that play again.
Okay,
that is a swing. That is not a design run.
But it was either way. It was overtime. So like they would have scored, and then it would have gone to another overtime. Like there's no guarantee. That's a hot take saying that they would have won.
Or Bama goes for 2.
Maybe I doubt it.
Again, that's all hypothetical. What happens from there on?
Yeah.
But like that is a design swing. You can see you've got the two receivers out there to block, and you've got that running back coming across the side. That is a design swing. That's not a design run.
Or it was a design run. I don't know.
If that was a design run,
I thought it was a design run.
I thought it was a design quarterback draw.
There's no way. If that's a design run, that's the worst play call I've ever seen.
Well,
I thought it was one of the worst play calls I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
I think it was a blown play.
Well, and maybe Sick Nabin maybe was covering for his coordinator or whatever, but I thought I heard him talk about how like we just thought we could run that play. We thought we could find a hole or something. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
If they swing
I
that
thought
thing
it
to the
was
left, it's a score.
but they
They
didn't.
didn't.
So.
And
But you're Alabama. You can't do a basic snap. All your 5 stars.
Yeah.
And look, Michigan got a lot of push on that line.
Mhm.
So if it was a design run, they would have gotten stuffed even if it was a good snap.
Yeah. And so that's my other thing is like, I'm not here touting Alabama. I'm also not here touting Michigan. One thing I will credit Michigan with was that D line made Milroe's life hell for 4 quarters.
Yep.
Like
How many sacks?
Too many. If I'm a Bama fan, too many.
6, I think.
6.
But they were pressuring him the whole time.
Yeah. That Michigan D line is no joke.
Did you see why though? It's because Alabama's offensive line walked on the Michigan sideline, like try to act cool. Did you see that before the game?
I didn't.
They walked down the Michigan sideline in front of all the Michigan players, like try to. I don't know. It was probably to like make a statement.
We're Bama.
It was the starting offensive line walked that side of the field.
So that's those moves. Like Bama's not the first team to do something like that, but it is like the biggest high risk, high reward thing you can do.
Better back it up.
Because if you do that and you lose, like Bama did, fuck Bama, you look very dumb.
Yeah.
You look dumb.
I know this is,
and you risk, like Michigan's D line has been great all season. Nobody is disputing that, but you risk just incensing them. Like they're going to come do this in front of us. They're going to come do this in front of us.
I remember listening to, this is kind of off topic a little bit. I remember hearing a podcast episode talking about Nebraska volleyball because they're going to play Texas in the title game. And someone had brought up, what if Becca Alec gets a block in the middle of the game and just does the horns down right in their face? And I just remember thinking, you better win.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that.
If you're going to act like that, you better win.
Thank God she didn't do that because yikes. So yes, that goes to your point. If you're gonna be bold, fucking come with it then.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's high risk, high reward.
If it's a matchup too that it's like this, you don't need to give them any edge.
No.
Like if it's like an even playing field and you're like, well, let's do something stupid like that. Yeah, you're going to lose.
You better be locked in.
That's what's going to happen.
You better be locked in.
Well, maybe like if you're Bama, we've been here before. This Michigan squad, like Michigan has too, but Michigan's blown it every time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get in their heads a little bit. Harbaugh, he gets in these situations, in these games, and they don't play well. Maybe we can get in their heads a little bit, But Michigan outplayed them.
They did.
Yeah. Like you said, you brought up the line, the D line. The O-line did their thing.
And the offense made plays when they had to.
Michigan was the better squad.
And I was afraid, I'm going to be honest, I thought Bama would win because I just thought, oh boy, SEC team actually gets in the 4-team playoff.
Yep.
When this was a year that they weren't supposed to be in. No SEC team was really supposed to make it technically. And of course, Bama's going to win it all. And that's just going to double down on the SEC supremacy.
Yep.
They didn't win.
I had money on Bama.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah. I probably would have too.
I always say coaching advantage. Like coaching advantage.
Well, hold on.
Who's a better coach?
Hold on a second.
Nick Saban or Jim Harbaugh?
Right.
I would take Alabama because they have a coaching advantage.
Historically, yes, but I mean, we look at recent history, and in the last probably 3 years, I might say Harbaugh's a better coach. Historically,
some people are going to say Sick Nabin
Yeah.
is past his prime. He's an old man.
I am
And this is
not.
past his prime, and he's still making playoffs.
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
I am in no way talking down on Nick Saban. Nick Saban, in my opinion, I have always said the top 2 coaches in college football history both come from the University of Alabama, and that is either at 1 or 2, Nick Saban or Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
Number 3 is obviously Tom Osborne.
Fuck yeah. The GOAT.
Yeah, but like I am in no way talking down on Nick Saban. What I'm saying is that Jim Harbaugh, especially in these last 3 years, has figured it out.
Well, maybe I think this is a good transition here, because what nobody's talking about, and maybe I'm crazy, is like, if Michigan wins the title, they win it all.
Mhm.
Is it tainted in your eyes? Do you
I
look
don't
at
know.
It? Do you look at it with an asterisk?
So I was going to get into that a little bit, because this will be Michigan's first national championship that they don't have to share with the better team. So if they do win, there's still going to be controversy.
Here's like just putting it all on the line. Did Michigan cheat this season? Yes. Yes, they did.
Mhm.
It has been proven.
Speaking of that, Connor Stallions was at the game. Fun fact.
Of course he was.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Michigan did cheat.
Yes.
Do I believe that the cheating that they did is why Michigan is where they are right now? No, I do not. I think they are arguably, we'll find out, the best team in the country. I don't think they needed to do that, but they did. So, no, yes, there will always be the asterisk. Yes. But did it result? Like, was the cheating? Was that what made it happen? No.
Well, no.
I think they were just the most talented team.
So a few layers to this. Like, for me personally, I'm pro cheating. You do what you got to do.
Everybody does it.
Sorry.
Hey, Husker fans, we cheated in the 90s.
Nebraska
Get used to it.
was not squeaky clean.
Yeah, we cheated.
Okay, they
It's
just weren't, which is okay. Like, people bring up steroids, and it's like, was Nebraska the only program to take steroids during the 80s and the 90s?
No. And is Michigan the only program going to steal signals? No.
Well, I mean, Michigan, but
they did it in a way that not a lot of other programs do.
It's like what I always say with the 80s and the 90s and the steroids. I'm like, everyone else was doing it. Literally, freaking Oklahoma, and Brian Bosworth literally had like a Sports Illustrated article about him coming out about steroids.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nebraska did it better than you, right? Like Michigan, sorry, they stole signals better than all y'all because they went the extra mile.
Yeah.
But at the same time, did they spy on Bama?
No.
Are they going to be able to spy on Washington?
No.
Like, you get in this 4-game playoff, and it's every man for himself. You get, your month to prepare for each team. It's fair advantage, right? So, even playing field now.
Yeah. Michigan cheated, but it's not why they're here.
No, I watched Michigan play Nebraska in person this year, and there's just like, when you see a good team play, like, they just have something different about them. And I've said this in the past too. When I watch Ohio State play, when I think they went to the playoff that year too, when you watch a team like that play in front of you, you're like, they're different.
It's special.
Michigan is different.
Yes.
And the crazy part is this matchup, going into recruiting a little bit, is the first time that we're having 2 teams outside of the top 10 playing in a national championship game. So
you want to know what's even better? No matter what, technically it's not, but it's a Big Ten championship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For all you SEC people, how does it feel that there's 2 Big Ten schools in there?
Isn't that something?
It feels good. It feels good.
I mean, like I said, I don't conference cheer. I don't really give a shit.
Right.
Technically,
But fuck the
it's
SEC.
not.
But I think it's a little bit of the turning of the guard a little bit.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
But then, of course, Texas was also in the.
Okay, but if you think about the teams we're bringing into the Big Ten versus what the SEC is bringing into the SEC, we're bringing in some dogs.
Sure. It is a changing of the guard. I don't know how in the 2024-25 season you could reasonably look at the makeup of the Big Ten and the makeup of the SEC and tell me that the SEC is better than the Big Ten. The Big Ten, sure, like for a long time, the Big Ten has been very top heavy, where like the schools at the top are incredibly dominant, and then there's like 4 decent teams and then dog shit, which was referred to as the Big Ten West. But if you look at the SEC, it's not that it's not dissimilar.
No,
like it
you
is
got your Vanderbilts.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got your overrated Mississippi State.
You got your Arkansas. You got all the, it's the same thing.
It's the same
But
thing.
so to Mike's point, the teams that the Big Ten is bringing in, there's not a slouch in there. We're bringing in dogs.
Yeah. And back to
Huskies,
that
if you
same
will.
debate. You have the crap at the bottom of the SEC. You have the crap at the bottom of the Big Ten.
Sure.
But there's a difference that nobody likes to talk about except me. They play 9 conference games in the Big Ten. They only play 8 in the SEC. So
I don't know how they get away with that.
So while we're beating up on teams in November, we're
Playing real teams.
playing real Power 5 teams. They're playing Incarnate Word in November.
Yeah.
Like, tell me how that's fair. And you can say, oh, because we beat up on each other. Bullshit.
Okay.
Shut up.
You played Arkansas.
You played Arkansas. Shut up.
Wow.
To that point, have you guys seen Michigan's schedule next year? Because that's a goddamn joke.
I mean, they played Texas. That's
like the only good game they play. Their schedule next year is a joke.
Well, Michigan's schedule this year was a joke too.
yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't,
so
in the non-con, they didn't play. I don't think they played one Power 5 team.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't play one.
And that's their second year in a row they haven't done that.
Yeah.
For the listeners,
Yeah, we
viewers,
shouldn't do that
whatever. We will sit here and shit on the SEC for only playing 8 conference games. But I'm not going to sit here and defend somebody that has, 9 conference games, but then a dog shit non-con.
I mean, but obviously Alabama went and played Texas this year, but Georgia didn't play anybody in their non-con. They played Georgia Tech.
Asking an SEC team to go even 5 miles up north from their freaking campus is like asking them to pull teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't get them to play up north to save their damn lives.
That's my thing
Ridiculous.
is we are equal opportunity haters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hate all of you. I don't care.
Dude, Nebraska sucks.
Dude, we are a bad program.
Yeah.
So when you
when
have
we
all
talk about the dog shit at the bottom,
that's us.
Hello.
That's the funny part. Is like they could be like they're gonna come back because you'll have people commenting on your TikToks and the clips and reels that we make from this, and it'll be like, "Well, Nebraska sucks." Thank you.
Yes.
We know that.
Water's wet.
Yeah, we do a podcast every week and talk about that.
You think I cry myself to sleep for no reason? No.
I don't anymore. I'm so used to it.
Yes, we're numb.
Okay. So I know. I think next weekend is like transfers can come and visit.
Mm-hmm.
The notable names, of course, Devin Dowdell, Oregon running back. Just today, it was announced Isaiah Nayer from Texas is coming for a visit, wide receiver.
He was from Wyoming first.
Yeah, Wyoming first, and then he's been at Texas the last 2 years. And then Wake Forest, Jamal Banks, wide receiver. I don't think it's been official yet that
Is
he's
he
coming.
confirmed yet or no? Because I
don't
that
think
he isn't coming.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he might not be.
Yeah. I know that he has not confirmed that he is coming. So
I guess my question to you guys is when you look at running back, you look at the room that they got, the guys that's coming in for a visit, you look at the wide receiver room, the guys that they got, and the guys that might come to visit. If you had to pick one, which position group would you want an upgrade in? Running back or wide receiver?
Running back by far.
Go.
So it's tough because I think there's a lot of young talent in the receiver room, and adding a veteran, I think, would be a very good addition. But I'm going to agree with Mike here and say that getting a very, very solid running back creates the most value.
You need a bell cow. You need a guy that is going to go just carry you. It's going to be traditional run game. You need a guy, a workhorse.
Yeah.
Go get one.
Well,
pay him.
So if with DR, who we've all agreed is going to start next year,
Yes.
we're probably going to be working more towards a pro style. If we're going to do that, we need a very solid running game to keep people guessing, keep them on their toes.
Mm-hmm.
We need that running back to keep pressure off DR.
Yeah.
Running back is where the most value is. That's where I'd be going.
So let's look at this room right now. Okay. Running back room. Senior, Ramir Johnson.
Super senior.
Yeah.
Like, what's your assessment on Ramir? What?
Ramir is going to be a guy, third down type guy. I think a guy that can go out of the backfield, catch balls for you. He's a great pass blocker. I think he is going to be great in those like need to get it pass downs.
Mm-hmm.
But that's if he comes back from his injury. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And then that brings up Gabe Irvin. Like
short yardage. That's what I'm going to say with Gabe. Gabe's going to have to be, if you need to go get a yard and we're not in shotgun, we're lining up traditionally under center and handing the ball off. Unless the guy we get is like a dog, go give it to Gabe.
Gabe Irvin,
Yeah.
Mike, say it.
Best ability? Availability.
Hello.
Yes.
Emmett Johnson, like solid running back.
I would be
12
surprised
carries a game.
if we bring in Dowdell from Oregon. I would be surprised if Emmett sticks around.
I would agree with that.
Really?
I would
Yes.
agree.
Yep. I don't think he'll stick around. If he does, I mean, props to you. But if I'm Emmett,
That becomes a very crowded room.
it's already a crowded room
Yeah.
because of what Emmett did in his small appearances at the end of the year. So if they bring in a guy, and if you're going to get a transfer, because Matt Rule has to be picky about who he brings onto this roster because we have scholarship issues. You're bringing him to be a starter.
That was something, and I actually don't remember who I saw this from today. People getting worried about the scholarship stuff. How many players we got on roster?
Gives a shit.
We're already under 90. Like,
Who gives a shit? And Randolph Kapai entered the portal. Hey, 84 now.
I think we are 4 players away. Like, let's not get super concerned with
It'll
all
be
of that
fine.
as of this moment.
I say all the super seniors.
Don't get super concerned yet.
They need 9 more. They're 9 over right now.
Yeah.
This morning they were 5 over.
I'm looking at the scholarship distribution chart right now, and it says 9 over.
I think it's 9 because we were at 10 last week, and then Randall Kapai just went in, so now we're at 9.
Another guy in the room, Quentin Ives. Is he a dark horse pick to like show up
No.
in the spring and
if
he
he
shows out?
If he was, don't you think we would have seen him?
Yeah.
Saw him a little bit.
Yeah, we saw him
don't
muff a kickoff or punt or a punt. Yeah.
Was that him? No, was it?
Oh no, that was
No, that was fucking hold on.
fucking.
Hold on.
That was the DB.
Damn it.
Yeah, DB. Yeah.
Come on. Who was it? Oh my God. Dude, I can't
Ethan
find
Nation.
it. Ethan Nation.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Yes, but no, they had him
Poor guy.
on kickoff coverage though, and it was just like,
Yeah.
you're bringing in a guy that you think is going to be really good at running back, but with our depth issues and all the injuries we had this year, he didn't even get any carries really.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
to me, what does that tell you? Because we've said this in the past, running backs are usually turnkey. Like if they're ready out of high school, they're going to play right away, and they can be successful. We saw that with Maurice Washington.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
it's similar, not like obviously a different position, but like Quentin Ives not getting carries this season or not getting many. I have talked about recently Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord obviously transfers to Syracuse. Good for him. I hope he has a good future and plays well there. But I keep telling people that thought when McCord, removed Nebraska from his list, that it was the end of the world. I said, this guy threw for, what do you have, like 31 or 34 touchdowns,
29.
29?
Like no 30.
No,
20.
he was in the 30s for
No,
TDs.
I thought it was 20.
I thought he was like 31 and 14.
That was like 29 and 5.
I can look it up. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, I think it
But
was 29
what I
and
said
5.
was like, this is a high-end Power 5 QB, and you're looking at a guy that only had an offer from Nebraska and Syracuse. Like,
Makes you
what
think.
does that tell you about the player?
Gives you
Same thing with Quentin Ives.
little side eye, like,
You see that he maybe has potential, but like he's not getting touches from his own staff. What does that tell you?
McCord was 24
24.
and 6.
Yeah, I don't think he was in
way out. I thought
yeah.
31 and 14.
Yeah.
Was that Aiden Childs? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good point though. It's like
Yeah.
Syracuse, huh? Okay.
Yeah, like there weren't many other offers from McCord.
I
And
mean,
so,
we don't know
again,
publicly
it
who
is-
offered Kyle McCord.
but those were the only schools that seemed to be like have this big interest.
Yeah, because he wanted to go to a place that he was going to start right
yeah.
away. So
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, like with Quentin Ives, like he's not getting the attention from his own staff. What does that tell you?
we'll see.
And I think I would agree with you guys. Like when I look at that wide receiver room, it's so young. And like I'm looking at the the seniors and the juniors. We got IGC still listed on there. And Alex Bullock is your junior. like very young room. So it's like I am tempted to be like, okay, let's get a 6'4". Yeah, this will be our last segment. I'm very tempted. That Wake Forest guy, he's 6'3", 6'4", 215. Oh my God, that would be so great. But at the same time, dude, like I just think long term and looking at Nebraska's past, I'm just like, why can't we be RBU again? We used to be RBU.
Yeah.
Like that's just what that's been the backbone of this program. That's what made us a blue blood, man. Every year you'd bring in a freaking running back and he'd be a stud. The last stud that we've had.
Amir Abdullah.
Amir.
Yeah. Okay. We're all in agreement on that.
10 years ago. It's been 10 years.
Divine did go for 1,000. That was the last 1,000-yard back. So
here is my thing is college football has changed. And Nebraska has changed as well. But Nebraska always seems to be one step behind. With the move, having these young, talented receivers, having a quarterback like DR, it feels like we are finally getting back to being on the same page.
Maybe.
I look at Michigan. Blake Corum is
that's
special.
their dude. Blake Corum is special.
Like name me a wide receiver from Michigan. Go. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Even if he's really good. It's Blake Corum. It runs through him.
Yeah.
He might not put up even last game against Bama. It's not like he put up like, whoa, numbers. But you watch him play, and it's like, that's their dog right there. Yeah. There's no doubt.
But there's only one Blake Corum. You know, like
that kid is special.
You've got to develop a running back. You also need.
But that used to be Nebraska. Though.
Yeah,
was Amon freaking Green.
But we had a thing called the freaking pipeline, man.
Yeah,
I hear.
And our pipeline was. You want to talk about running back? We had O linemen. We were pumping O linemen.
Tell me the last special running back like Blake Corum that didn't have an elite offensive line in front of him. Well, it doesn't happen.
I think like
Barry Sanders.
Again,
that's it.
I think Amir can make your O line look better than they are.
Yeah,
you know,
you still need.
There was NFL guys on that line,
too. Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, no, I think running back is what we need. We need a guy, and hopefully, he might be the guy. We'll see. Yeah. Well, let's introduce one new segment that we have. Connor started a thing on TikTok back in the fall,
long time ago.
Sorry, called the Cover Corner.
Yeah,
and so I think we're just going to start doing small, quick segments on the pod. So you want to kick off?
Throw it over to Connor.
So, for those that have not seen it on TikTok, the Cover Corner is a gambling segment where I do my best to help you make money. By the end of the TikTok tenure of the Cover Corner, I think my final record was like 27-12. So we did pretty well. Ultimately,
he started off 27-0.
I was 27-4. But we're going to talk about the Cover Corner initially was very much college football centric. Obviously, there's only one college football game to pick. So we're going to drop some NFL in there today. The first game I really like is Browns-Bengals. Bengals currently favored by 6. The Browns are sitting like a ton of starters. It's like 30% of the team.
They got their spot locked up.
They're clinched.
Yeah.
The Bengals are favored by 6. I don't know that I love taking them -6, so I'm taking the Bengals money line. And there's another reason. Aside from the Browns sitting all those starters, in the last 41 times that the Bengals have finished their season at home, they are 33-8. 33-8 at home to end the season in the last 41 times they've done it. Browns sitting a bunch of starters. I think the Bengals are getting this one. Jake Browning, Mike didn't like it. I called Jake Browning a dog.
No, I didn't like it.
I don't like it either.
Oh, yeah. I think Jake Browning is an incredible backup quarterback. I think he is essentially auditioning for a new job.
So is there any chance that, so I'm a Ravens fan, so I see Joe Flacco playing for the Browns, and I'm like, okay, yeah. Is Joe Flacco elite? Hey, all that. Does he play?
No, I don't think you start Flacco.
I think he plays.
I think you play him for like the first half.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he plays at least the first half, and then you get him out of there because they obviously have quarterback injury issues. So
and they don't they can't risk Flacco getting hurt.
Yes.
So I would be sitting Flacco. This is not like one of my picks for the Cover Corner, But I will tell you, and it hurts me dearly to say this, I do have money on the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. But while I say that, I do want to remind you that the Colts did beat the Ravens in week 3. Suck it. The next game that I have
Shut up.
is Packers Bears. This is a game that I have gone back and forth on, but I do like Packers -3 over the Bears. They are at home, and the Packers are playing to save the season. It is win or go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like the
Well-
Packers. Jordan Love has played very well this season. I have a whole list of QBs that have outperformed Patrick Mahomes this season. Jordan Love is one of them. I see the Packers coming out. They're angry. It is a divisional game. They are going to go after those Bears, and they are going to get it done. I like the Packers -3.
I will admit I was a Jordan Love skeptic.
Same.
I didn't think that he would rise to the occasion like he has so far.
And he
So
did.
far.
And
Right,
he did.
so far.
Well, yeah, so far has.
Yeah.
So props to him.
And then the game that I feel like everyone is waiting for me to pick is the College Football National Championship. As of right now, Michigan is favored over Washington by 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that this is the most cognitive dissonance you will ever see. I would really, really, really love to see Washington win this game. Unfortunately, we did talk about earlier in this episode that the Michigan D line is absolutely insane. Blake Corum is something special.
Mm.
Michigan covers that 4.5, and we're going to double down and make another pick. The overs hit in this game as well.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I will say,
The overs will hit. Washington's offense is no joke. They're going to score. Michigan is just going to score more.
like, if you don't watch Washington a lot, which is probably the case because they're on at 9:00 at night every freaking Saturday, their lines are
good.
better than you would think.
They're not a bad team.
Like,
they're
you
they're
could go-
very good. There's
just
a
like-
reason they're number 2.
Just like with Oregon, like
They're Big Ten ready.
Pac-12, you got Oregon, Washington coming. Their lines, both of them, are freaking good. So
Yeah.
just something to look out for.
This
Maybe
is-
Michigan's not going to bully ball them like a lot of people might think.
I just think that Michigan D line is just a group of killers.
Yeah, but I think that Washington O-line is a
It's-
group of killers as well.
This
So,
is going to be a great matchup, but again, I really like Michigan covering 4.5. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I think it's a touchdown game, but I think the overs hit too because Michigan's like secondary and their linebacking core also great, but it's going to be tough to stop Michael Penix. Like he's a great quarterback, so.
Should have been the Heisman winner.
Yeah, it's going to be a higher scoring game than people imagine. I do just see Michigan getting it by like 1 touchdown.
Okay. Anything else?
no, I don't think
Nothing?
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just know that receiver for Washington's really freaking good.
Yeah.
So
Which one? Polk. You got another dude. Azu.
yeah, whatever.
That
yeah,
one.
that
As a
one.
Yeah.
That one. That
That
had,
one.
You know which
better
one I mean.
numbers than Marvin Harrison Jr. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy is really good. So that'll be interesting to watch against that Michigan defensive backs. So
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think we really have anything else.
Okay.
It's off season, boys. So 2024 is here.
Listen, if you guys got like topics that you want us to touch on over this very long and cold off season up until spring, like let us know. If there's
Yep.
anything you really want us to bang on.
We'll have former players and media
Yeah.
people and all kinds of stuff too. So
Yeah.
we'll fill the off season like we always do.
All right, guys. Go listen to our podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts.
Amazon.
Yeah, I always forget Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Go to our Twitter, go to our Facebook, go to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at NBNR Podcast. Give us a 5-star review, give us a thumbs up, give us comments, talk shit, whatever. We don't care. Engage with us. We like to argue, all those things. Merch, NBNRpodcast.com. Mike's I know he's got the hat, which is different, but sweatshirts, sharp. We both got hats on.
Yeah.
So if you go to NBNRpodcast.com, shout out to Evans Custom Apparel.
Shout out.
They make our stuff high quality. Anything else?
No,
That's it.
Okay. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Connor Cavalack and Kyle Byers.
I was gonna do that. That's why I thought about it. That's why I delayed on mine.
That's kind of what he sounds like, too. As always, Happy New Year in GBR.
Goo, goo.